Remember, people, you must catch up if you fall back in the line. It's gonna be very exciting, guys. And the race starts. The green lights and the race starts. Let's see how the very first laps put each car on the track. For now, a group of very compacted 4 people in the lead, follow them by the Van Guidelmin car and MD Racing and Alpinium at the end. The Evergarden 77 is taking position over the Evergarden 93. Is the first position change. What happened back there? Seems that these two had an accident or something, because they lost a lot of gap compared to the others, Nikuri and Mila, that are fighting for the 6th position. Meanwhile, Rao takes position over Zenitho, who's now P4. Some collisions here. This Thunder and Evely fighting for position while Luke is escaping from the group. Okay, let me leave the car and place myself in a comfortable place. Here. Good. Now Thunderwave in P2 with Evely in P3. Luke Carbona already creating a big gap, and this time he has the advantage of being able to race 2 stints instead of only so 2/3 of the race instead of only 1/2, which might have relevance at the end of the race, depending on how much of a gap he creates over the rest of the cars. If they don't manage to catch up turn later, might be the first victory for LCR, for Luke Carmona basically, since his return last season to GT Super Endurance. Rao and Zenitho on the other side, fighting for P4. At the moment, Rao is the one leading this little group, this little couple, while Nikuri does the same with Mila May in the fight for P6. There are 3 clear fights. The fight between Evergarden 77 and his for the 2nd position, Evergarden 93 and Renaissance Van Guidelmin for the 4th position, and fight between Alpinium and MD Racing for P6. In the meantime, Luke taking advantage of this situation to create a bigger gap every time. Rao and Zenitho that are not that far from Thunder and Evely, so they may be able to catch up. As Alexander is wisely saying, while they fight for position, Luke goes more far. Well, at the moment it seems that P2 is no longer being fight. Evely is at the moment following Thunder. That's what they should be doing. Be wise. Don't fight. Try to do your best laps. And do not let Luke create a big gap over you. There was a position change here, by the way. What is this? No. Nikuri and Milame. Ooh, Nikuri against the corner. He's trying to take position over Milame. Ooh, now Mila got too much that corner. And that gives the spot for Nikuri to take P6. Meanwhile, he takes position over the Evergarden 77. But the Evergarden 77 with Thunder takes it back. No, because Evely takes it back again. There is an intense fight between these two at the moment. Thunder is looking for the spot, for the space to pass Evely. The spot is now not, because Evely has the inner of the turn. Very intense fight this one for P2. Now Thunder takes, it's not enough, and Evely stays in the lead. Now Zenitho reached the group. Thunder and Evely losing a lot of time really in these fights. Meanwhile, Luke is creating a good gap. It's now 7.5 seconds. Yorkie says Evely needs to settle down and do laps. But both of these drivers want to be ahead of the other. And Zenitho now as well, that has joined the fight. Rao has lost some pace now. He's a bit behind without draft distance, so let's see how that affects the final result. Ooh, that's attempt from Thunder to take the position led to getting stuck with Evely, and is now Zenitho with the Evergarden 93, the car in second position. Thunder tries again. Now is Thunder ahead, but Evely will try to take the position back in the next turn. Meanwhile, Zenitho is building a gap, taking advantage of these two proud drivers fighting each other. And Rao tried to take position from Evely, almost, but not enough. There should not be pits yet. 10 minutes. Ooh, the gap that Luke has created so far is huge, really huge. We'll see at the end of the race if that is enough for Strong to keep the advantage. Thunder and Evely stay fighting each other while Zenitho, very smart, just took the position when he could and is now in P2. Rao very close to both Thunder and Evely. Ooh, that collide again gives the chance to Rao, and Rao is gonna take the position. Rao is now P3. Rao is P3. Yes, no, yes, yes, he is P3. Rao is now P3. From fighting for P2, Thunder and Evely and their personal beef has led now to them fighting for P3 and being behind the P3 at the moment. I cannot open the live stream, Yorkie, sorry. I need to pay attention to what's going on the track. It's now Thunder taking position over Rao. And Evely has fallen a few meters. Minute 48 to go. For those that will try 3 stops, the spot for the pit is about to be open. I don't know if they will, but it is there. This fight is really amazing to watch, I have to say. This very, very intense fight for P3 at the moment between Evergarden 77, Renaissance Van Wiedelming, and his. There are no stops yet. It is now Rao taking the lead of this group again. And Rao is creating a little gap over the other 2 cars. Oh, Evely hit the wall and she just lost a bit of gap. She's right now barely in draft distance. Let's see if that's not very punishing. Because if it's very punishing and Thunder managed to keep the draft from Rao, they will start to create a gap because they will have a draft that Evely doesn't. No stops yet. We are about to reach the 45 minutes to go. And for a 3-stop strategy, that means that the first stop could be about to happen. Evergarden 93, at the moment P2. With Luke Carmona leading with a huge advantage, and Renaissance Van Wiedelming P3 fighting with Evergarden 77 for P4. In P4, sorry, not for P4. They're fighting for P3. And we reach the 45 minutes. This means that those that will try a 3-stop strategy should start to come to the pit lanes very soon. In the meantime, the fight between Mila and Nikuri continues here. At the moment, is Mila ahead of Nikuri? So these two are also in an intense fight with each other for very valuable points. No one is stopping yet. No one is stopping yet. Here we see Luca Carmona leading at the moment with a very comfortable gap. Followed by Zenitho in the Evergarden 93, 10 seconds behind. And in this fight for third position, Rao and Thunder. Rao that is at the moment ahead of Thunder, and Evely with his approaching this little group of two, this little couple. Behind them, Mila and Nikuri fighting for P6 at the moment. Nikuri is following Mila. Seems that he's taking advantage of the draft, and they do not want to waste more time in pointless fights that they can reserve for the very last moment of the race. Changing positions now. It seems that Evergarden 77 is ahead. Yes. Nobody is stopping. With 45 minutes to go, this means that we are approaching the 2-stop window, which is at minute 40. Zenitho is keeping the gap with Luke. Luke is unable to actually create a gap, increase the gap. Okay, I need to pay attention now to the pit box because we're about to reach that point of the race. Where people will start to pit. These are the current standings. LCR 60, P1, P2 for the Evergarden 93, P3 for the Evergarden 77, which is followed very closely by the Van Widermin 14 and his 9, P6 for MD Racing 444 and P7 for Alpino 55, both cars fighting each other for P6 at the moment as we see them crossing the start-finish line. Luke Carmona that's about to overlap the P7 and P6 cars, MD Racing and Alpinium. Zenitho that keeps the very same pace that Luke Carmona. This is really shocking. Being able to keep the same pace that Luke Carmona is something definitely worth to mention. Not everyone is capable of doing such thing. Carmona back. Zenitho box. Meanwhile, it seems that Thunderweb managed to get rid of this little group with Evely and Kurai, and now are Evely and Kurai or Rao the ones fighting each other. And it is now the Evergarden 93 pitting. Cenizo, métete en el pitbox. Thunderbox, Thunderbox. This Hina now that doesn't crosses the yellow line. Good. Good. Inside the box and inside the box both his and Evergarden 77 Candy. Recuerda no cruzar la línea amarilla, ¿eh? Same for Luca Carmona, who's gonna race another stint as I predicted. No yellow line here. No yellow line here. And no yellow line here. All good. In the meantime, it is Van Guidelmin, the other car pitting, and MD Racing. It is Ragnar. Good. And Don Romario takes the steering wheel of the MD 444. Good. All legal. Only one car missing to pit in this first window, which is the Alpine 55. I just saw Arno moving, so I guess the car is about to pit in the following minutes, in the following laps. Once the pit is complete, we will get back to commentating the race. Ooh, this is out of the pit box. This is how clear it looks. The Alpine 55 will receive a drive-through penalty for pitting out of the box. This is what they didn't want to do, because now the fight with the MD Racing car is gonna become super complicated for them. Alpine 55 drive-through penalty. We now need to pay attention to the pit lane again, because the Alpine 55 needs to serve the penalty. But for Alpinium, that now they have the fight very complicated against MD Racing. If they want to achieve that P6 that they were fighting for, they will need an absolute miracle that MD Racing messes it up, or that some of the other car retires to achieve more points today, or become Luke Carmona and start doing hot lap after hot lap. Arno Taurus serving the penalty correctly. And good. He doesn't cross the yellow line, so everything good here. We are back to the race now, with Luke Carmona at the moment leading the race. We don't know where this next car is. We see Don Romario doing P6 now. Ooh, these two are very behind. Look at the moment, almost 20 seconds. Hina and Balki together fighting for P2 at the moment, with his in P4. Here we see the Alpine car, and P5 for Renaissance Van Wiedelmint. It's a 20-second gap of Luke Carmona over everyone else. They will need to fight very hard in order to close all that gap with Trongudal at the end of the race, and more to come, because there are another 10 minutes now. That more than 10 minutes, almost 15 minutes, that Luke Carmona will be on track. I'm completely lost for a second. So we understand that the next window pit window will be in around 13 minutes, more or less, is when we can expect it. Seems that the positions are quite established at the moment. Let me drink some water. Aye. Now it seems that the Evergarden 77 has created a little gap of almost 2 seconds over the Evergarden 93, while he's with Candy Tomorrow now driving, tries to reach these two drivers and get back to the fight for the podium. This is now the RP4. Here we see Candy Tomorrow, one of the most experienced drivers on the track, with a lot of victories in her history. Ragnar driving for Van Wiedelmint at the moment in P5, a bit far from the 3 cars ahead of him that should be the ones that they want to fight at the moment. Here we see Hina now driving for the Evergarden 93. If they keep this position, they might achieve the first podium of this car in the series, and the first podium of both of a Supernova race, of a Supernova driver in a high tier FBA series. Valky now lapping Don Romario, who's in P6, comfortable. Comfortable P6 for Don Romario after the mistake from the Alpinium car that forced them a drive-through. They will need to fight double now if they want to recover that position, or at least join the fight with the MD racing car. 30 minutes to go now, half the way until the end of the race. We see that Evergarden 77 is capable of keeping the 20-second gap to Luke, even if not being able to cut it, but at least they are not being slower, which is very good. Still, 20 seconds is a lot of gap that they will have to cut towards the end of the race. They will need to be almost 1 second faster than Tron every minute, which is around half a second per lap, a bit more, because laps are a bit more than 30 seconds. We see that Hiss is trying to close the gap to the Evergarden 93 in their fight for joining the podium. Candy is doing a big effort here in order to close that gap. It is gonna be important to reach that point before the last pit stop, because there Cenizo and Evely, or Cenizo and Candy, or Hina and Evely will have to fight the very end of the race. Now the Evergarden 93 can take the draft from the MD Racing lap car. Let's see if they don't find any issue lapping the car. It's very well done by Don Romario that lets the Evergarden 93 car pass, and he will need to do the same very soon with the His 9 from Candy tomorrow at the moment. Who's definitely closing the gap to the Evergarden 93. We are about to reach that critical point. Let me check that no one is pitting. Good. Candy tomorrow approaching the MD Racing 444 from Don Romario in this case. Now, here's the critical point. And he passes comfortably the MD Racing car. We see now that it's Luke Carmona, the driver in trouble. He needs to pass the Renaissance Van Widermin car from Ragnar, one of the drivers that gave him some headaches in the last race. Carmona is being cautious. He doesn't want either to mess it up and lose time unnecessarily. We are 25 minutes now to go. Carmona will try now to pass the Van Widermin car. but the Van Wiedelmin car is doing quite a clean lap and is not leaving any spots. Spot open. Will be able now, not yet. Will he try now? Oh, this could be the good one. No, he doesn't have the speed. Yes, he has the speed. Ooh. Luke is at the moment stuck behind the Van Wiedelmin car. That would be worth a blue flag, I believe, Emmy. Blue flag for the Van Wiedelmin car, so they let Luke advance. Now Luke takes the position, now should secure it. Yes. Luke finally passes the Van Wiedelmin car and secures the position. Although the Van Wiedelmin car tries to fight it back, in the end he is not able to. And now Luke should be able to remain ahead of the car. 23 minutes. We are approaching the second window of pit stops. We see now that Luke is slightly increasing the gap over the Evergarden 77, is now 22 seconds ahead. Instead of the 20 that Valky managed to keep it before. It's also Hina quite close, and Candy Tomorrow very close of the two cars as well. We see the Alpinion 55 last at the moment. If I'm not wrong, the Evergarden 93 is closing the gap to the Evergarden 77. The back gap was bigger before, I believe. Which is good right now because they are both ahead of his, and if they manage to keep a good pace, they could both finish in the podium. 22 minutes to go. Luke Carmona still with a 24% of fuel. I'm pretty certain that he will try to stop till the very end, when there's no more fuel to waste. We are reaching the critical point of the second Hina box. The second pit stop, as you all noticed. All good. David Cenizo, the third driver. No cruces la línea amarilla, ¿eh? Bulky box, bulky box. Uy, Cenizo, I almost killed you. All legal. Bulky all nervous. The two Evergarden cars have stopped already. Do not cross the yellow line. Good, good. Now we have to be pending of the rest of the pit stops. First one, or third one in this case, is the Van Wiedelmin car that will have a driver switch. Rao is back to the car for the last stint. And here they go. Rao Hakuro. All legal. Good. He's now stopping. Completely legal as well. And it's gonna be a driver switch. Evely is doing the last stint for his 9. All good. This now the LCR60 Trongudal will do the last stint of the team. It is now his responsibility to keep the gap that Luke created and bring the first victory for LCR60 for Luke Carmona and for Trongudal since they joined the category last season. And here he comes, Trongudal. Good, he doesn't cross the yellow line, which means that it is all legal. Everything good here. Only two cars missing the stop. Alpinium 55 and MD Racing 444. That should be pitting in the next laps. Actually, Cenizo and Evely are very close to each other at the moment. So there will be an intense fight there for the last position of the podium. MD Racing, the next ones to pit. Ooh, almost pits in the ground spot. Don Romario steps down. And it's gonna be Mila, the one to complete the race for MD Racing. Uy. Uy, 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 Mila. Ooh! I think she crossed the yellow line. I mean, I didn't have the right perspective. I don't know if you saw it, Emmy. Ah, fuck, I had the wrong perspective there. Maybe she stepped on it, but she didn't cross it. I cannot confirm. That was my bad. I didn't got the right angle. It is, in fact, indeed, a yellow line penalty. Emmy spotted it. And this is gonna make the race interesting for the P6 because now both cars, the Alpinium and the MD Racing, have received a penalty, which means that they will now be again wheel to wheel, I believe. In that fight for P6, Alpinium now pitting in the correct position. And it's the drive-through penalty that MD Racing is serving. And they are gonna join the race together, basically. So yes, here is the fight. Here is the fight. Now I have the right angle. None of them step there. Ooh, he collides and finds in front both the Alpinium and the MD Racing cars. So they are gonna be fighting on top of Cenizo. Ooh, the last spot in the podium. Tron Goodall is leading the race, and he's leading the race still comfortably. Thunderwave starts now to close the gap, is now 21 seconds. Now Cenizo takes the position over MD Racing, and he will need to push as much as he can in order to reach Evely and try to get the podium. Cenizo that should have a slight advantage of fuel since he stopped first. So let's see if he managed to take advantage of that. Thunderwave closing the gap to the LCR60, now 19 seconds. Now MD Racing is clearly ahead of the Alpinium 55. So despite the penalty, they may be able to keep this position comfortably. If they don't mess it up, Thunderwave closes another 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds. to LCR. At this pace, Thunder should be able to reach Tron and take P1, but that's still to be seen. Meanwhile, Zenitho is creating a gap over Zenitho, who's not able to keep the same pace than his car. Thunderwave closes another 2 seconds over Tron. This fight for P3 is gonna be definitely interesting to see. If Zenitho managed to catch up, but he needs to really push for it. What else do we have? No other fights at the moment. Here we have Tronudal leading the race at the moment. Thunderwave closing the gap now, 3 seconds faster. Thunderwave is melting the advantage that LCR had like butter. Tron needs to focus. There are still 8 minutes and a half approximately. But he needs to be as consistent as possible. "13 seconds of gap now from Thunder. Zenitho keeps trying to follow his car, but he isn't able to close the gap. We'll see later, because of course, one thing is that if Thunder manages or not to reach Strongudal, but let's see if his and the Evergarden 93 manage to catch him as well, because that might be a possibility. At the current pace, the current pace should be possible. Or maybe not, because it's 20 seconds. We see Rao Hakuro with Renaissance Van Wiedelmint. P5 at the moment. Very solid P5 will be, because he doesn't have anyone in front and he doesn't have anyone behind. The spot is definitely for Renaissance Van Wiedelmint at the moment, if no one else messes it up. 11 seconds gap. Almost 12 seconds between LCR 60 and Evergarden 77. Tron that just has to pass. Sam Katias against the wall. Be very careful here, because might affect the traffic. Sam Katias collides against the corner, and if they have any chance to fight MD Racing for P6, that option is definitely discarded now. Now it seems that Zenitho has slightly closed the gap to Evely Onyx, but Evely is still comfortable ahead. .7 seconds Thunderwave now to Tron. And Zenitho closer every time to Evely. It seems that the better tires are having a positive effect here. It is a 15% difference of tires. And they are really close, and with a lap car in front. This will definitely be a battle to see. Thunderwave in the meantime, 7. Ooh! That collision with Sam. And Thunderwave in the meantime, 7.7 seconds behind Tron. Zenithor tries to take the position and he does. That was not very clean. We'll need a review later, maybe. We have to see what happened there. But Zenithor takes the position and is now in P3 with Evergarden 93. With 4 minutes and a half to go, Thunder is 6.3 seconds behind Tron. It seems that these two won't be able to cut the gap to LCR 60, but definitely Evergarden 77 may be able to do it. But the big fight now here between these two, Evely and Zenitho, jeez, this fight is gonna be very discussed later after the race. Temple, Zenitho, temple, paciencia. It is now. He's ahead of the Evergarden 93. Tronwood still leading with Thunderwave 3 seconds behind. In the meantime, we will see here, in theory, Thunder passing Tron. With 3 minutes to go, Thunder has a clear better pace than Tron. And that might mean a victory for the Evergarden 77 if they manage to do it in time with 3 minutes to go. The gap is now off 1.7 seconds. This is the fight now for the lead with 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Thunderwave tries the pass and might be able to do it. No, Tron is fighting back. Tron is fighting back. Tron is fighting back the lead. He won't give it that easily. Thunder needs to be patient as well. Tron is fighting for his life to keep this victory. With 1 minute and 30 to go. Thunder is not able yet to pass Tron. He will try again now. Thunder needs to be smart and wait for the right moment. This could be the right moment. Not yet. Now, okay, now it seems that she might have the advantage in the next combination of turns. Or not. Ooh, that was not good. That was not good. 1 minute to go. Tron is defending like Checo Perez in 2021 season. Ooh, a slow zone for Tron. That's the pass for the Evergarden 77. That little mistake gives the position to the Evergarden 77 with almost 1 lap to go. And I don't know what happened to the Evergarden 93, but now he's clearly ahead of Zenitho. With 1 lap to go, is gonna take the 3rd spot of the podium. And here it comes. Oh no, still they will run another lap. But here comes his P3, Evergarden 93 P4. That was an intense fight between the Evergarden 93 and his, but in the end his got the position and the third spot in the podium. Van Wiedelmin P5, Alpinium P7, MD Racing P6, almost lapping Alpinium. And now we should see, that's it, Evergarden 77 taking the lead, and LCR60 taking the second position.